Zone weather in Bruton, Alabama, with meteorologist Spinks Meganson. Severe weather coverage starts right now.
12:31 a.m. We've entered Wednesday, and we have a new tornado warning to tell you about for parts of West Alabama. We have a possible tornado moving into Gilbertown in Choctaw County, and the reason we are here, this has triggered a tornado warning for the northwestern corner of Clark County over in West Alabama. I hope you're having a nice Wednesday morning, very early in the morning hours on this Wednesday. And again, the reason we are here is this. This is a new tornado warning that has just been triggered for parts of West Alabama. If you are in Gilbertown or you know someone in Gilbertown, you need to call them, text them, tag them in the comments below, as we have a possible tornado at Gilbertown on the southern side of this supercell thunderstorm. This could be a very serious tornado happening at Gilbertown, pushing off to the northeast. This is ultimately going to be an issue for areas near Cunningham, Woods Bluff, and Morven in the northwestern corner of Clark County, and that's the reason we are here. Clark County, Alabama belongs to us, and so anytime there's a tornado warning for Clark County, we come on the air and stay on the air until the threat has passed. The threat has not yet come into Clark County. Right now, the threat is in Choctaw County. This storm moved out of Mississippi, and you can see over the last hour, this prompted tornado warnings for parts of Wayne and Clark County back here in Mississippi. This is Clark County, Mississippi. This is Wayne County. This is Choctaw County. And so this supercell basically straddled the line between Clark and Wayne County, Mississippi, before merging into Choctaw County. And the urgent call to action at this moment, as of 12:33 a.m., is at Gilbertown. If you're at Gilbertown, you need to be taking those tornado warning precautions right now, as we have a possible tornado on your doorstep at Gilbertown. We would encourage no travel at this point on Alabama Highway 17, extending from Butler all the way back down to, let's say, Milry and Chatham, just to be safe. So again, no travel right now in Choctaw County on Alabama Highway 17. And keep in mind, this is the first of what could be several tornadoes over the next several hours. This is not going to be a situation that goes away quickly, and we have an ongoing severe weather threat across the entire region, basically through 9 a.m. So this is a long duration event. We had another tornado warning in Washington County about 12 hours ago, but now this is going to be an issue for Choctaw County. And I realize that it's the middle of the night, it's super inconvenient, but the best thing that you can do if you're in this warning polygon is to take action to protect yourself. Let's show our graphics if we can, because if you're in Gilbertown, Woods Bluff, or Cunningham, this is what you need to be doing right now. Get underground if you can. Most folks in our area don't have a basement. We realize that, and so you've got to do the next best thing. We want you to get to the lowest floor of a site-built structure, away from windows and away from doors. We want you to put as many walls as you can between you and the outside world. Best thing on this list, grab something to protect your head. Most tornado injuries happen because of blunt force trauma to the head or skull region, and if you can protect your head with a helmet, that's the best possible thing that you can do. Let's go back over to LD1 and show the radar, because again, we're tracking this possible tornado in Choctaw County, very near Gilbertown and the Alabama Highway 17 corridor. Landon, do you have the radar scope source up? Is it available? All right, let's go over to radar scope so we can show it on velocity. And I tell you, that thing it's tight. Now, keep in mind, there's kind of a caveat to all this. This is a classic radar hole, per se. In other words, there is not good radar coverage in Choctaw County. Choctaw is in the middle of Jackson, Birmingham, and Mobile in terms of the radar coverage. And so what you're seeing here is the radar data at about 6,000 feet above this area. It's just not the best coverage in through here, but you know, we take what we can get, and there certainly is a couplet there on top of Gilbertown and Toxie near Alabama Highway 17, moving just like this, basically to the northeast. And this is moving off to the northeast at really east at this point at 45 miles an hour. So this thing is wasting no time. That thing is really wrapped up. Let's put this in motion and show you that over the last few frames, you can see this came out of Wayne County, Mississippi. It crossed the line at about midnight. And now this is right on top of Gilbertown. This actually has strengthened over the last few minutes. Let's put the probe out on this and look at the wind speeds. And again, keep in mind, this may not be super reflective of what's happening down at the surface, but it very well could be. We see this counterclockwise circulation. And let's see, here's some quick math for you, Landon. Let's do 33 plus 92. That's about, what, 120 mile per hour winds that may be possible right now near Gilbertown and Toxie. By the way, you keep hearing me talking to Landon. I'm joined alongside executive producer Landon Barentine. He's with us very early on this, what day is it? Wednesday morning now. And again, our possible tornado is happening at Gilbertown and Toxie in Choctaw County. That big orange dot that you see right here, coupled with that green, is basically what we call a couplet. When we're looking at velocity, the radar product, we see a counterclockwise circulation that ends up looking just like that. And so possible tornado is crossing Alabama Highway 17 somewhere near Gilbertown and Toxie. If you live within 5 miles of those given communities, you need to be taking shelter right now, as we have a possible tornado on top of you at this point. And this is a tornado warning that continues for Choctaw County. This is going to be coming out towards the Harbor Restaurant and also near Stewart Cemetery out here in Choctaw County to the east of town over the next few minutes. And let's look at this radar scan there and see. Yeah, you can see that this circulation continues to be fairly tight as it moves to the east. And if you happen to know someone that would be traveling early on this Wednesday morning in West Alabama, specifically from Butler back down to Silas or Milry here in West Alabama, you need to call them because it's a bad time to be traveling on Alabama Highway 17 at this point. No travel on 17 for the next 10 minutes. Let's give it 10 minutes and we'll be able to give you an all clear. If you're traveling on Highway 84 in West Alabama, you got no problems right now. So no issues on Highway 84, no issues on US Highway 43 anywhere in West Alabama at this point. Let's go back over to LD1 and we'll show you what's happening across the region. Look, this is pretty much the only game in town at this point. There's really no issue other than this one tornado warning happening in Choctaw and Clark counties over here in West Alabama. These showers happening near Crestview, Milton, Pensacola, Navarre. You've even got showers happening near Atmore, Porch, Bruton. All that mess is under severe limits. These are simply nuisance downpours that are moving off to the northeast, and thankfully we really haven't seen much in the way of action across coastal areas extending into south central Alabama. All the action today has been back here in parts of east central Mississippi and west Alabama. We do have a new tornado watch that has been issued over the last few minutes. And I say last few minutes, really the last hour or so, but this is a tornado watch that's in effect until 6 a.m. for all the counties you see here shaded in yellow. So if I call you out, you're involved in this tornado watch until 6 a.m. That simply means that conditions are more favorable for the development of tornadoes in your area. So again, if I call your county out, you're involved in this tornado watch. Washington, Choctaw, Clark, Marengo, Wilcox, Dallas, Monroe, Conecuh, Butler, Crenshaw, Pike, Montgomery, Lowndes, Autauga, Elmore, Perry, Hale, Greene, Sumter points north, all the way up to Birmingham and Tuscaloosa, involved in that active tornado watch, valid until 6 a.m. But again, the reason we are here is because of this. This is a tornado warning for West Alabama, specifically for parts of Choctaw and Clark counties. Let's go back over to the radar scope source and we'll show you that this circulation is at Toxie right now, pushing off to the east, really just a bit to the north of due east at about 45 miles per hour. So again, we're watching this situation that could be a tornado on the ground near Toxie. This is past Gilbertown at this point, but we're not going to give an all clear to Gilbertown because there still could be some folks on the eastern side of town that have a Gilbertown mailing address. And so let's give it, 5 more minutes until this thing clears out of Gilbertown and we'll be able to give you an all clear. We can give an all clear at this point to Silas. If you're down here at Silas or near Highway 84 in Choctaw County, you are okay. So again, all clear south of the tornado warning polygon. This is clearly going to pass to the north of Coffeyville. No issues for now in Coffeyville. But again, this cell is moving to the east at about 45 miles per hour rather quickly. Landon, if you'll take me back over to LD1, We'll look at this cell as it comes to the east in Choctaw County. This is approaching the Tombigbee River. This squiggly line that you see right in through there, that's actually the Tombigbee River that serves as the county border between Choctaw, Clark, and Marengo counties. Pennington is up here, big paper mill right there on the Tombigbee River, and this cell is producing copious amounts of lightning. You see our strike counter right up here. We're looking at 461 strikes of lightning over the last 5 minutes, and that does include cloud to cloud and cloud to ground, but this is a classic supercell thunderstorm that could be producing a tornado now to the east of Gilbertown, racing off to the east-northeast at about 45 miles per hour. This is quickly going to be an issue for Alabama Highway 69 in parts of Marengo and Clark counties as well. We would encourage no travel on Alabama Highway 69 from Coffeyville all the way back up to areas near Pennington, as this possible tornado is going to cross Highway 69 somewhere in the vicinity of Cunningham and Morven over the next few minutes. So again, no travel on Alabama Highway 69. Some good news to pass along. We'll give an all clear to Alabama Highway 17. If you're on 17 or know someone that needs to travel on Alabama Highway 17 in Choctaw County, you can go at this point. The cell has, moved to the east of there, and all clear to drive on 17. Now, don't get me wrong, you're still going to have heavy rain and there's going to be lightning in the distance, but what we're concerned about is this tornado threat on the southern side of this supercell thunderstorm. Look at that on velocity. You can see that there's a very well-defined couplet where you see this area of green and area of red coming together right here. That lets us know that there could be a tornado on the ground approaching the Tombigbee River, Cunningham, Campbell, Morven. You've also got Woods Bluff right in through here. And so again, all those areas that I just called out, you need to be implementing that tornado safety plan right now. And keep in mind, I realize that this is the middle of the night. It's super inconvenient to get sheltered, but this is a very tornado-prone part of Alabama, and this is not going to be the only deal tonight, most likely. Over the next several hours, we've got a big line of storms that's going to work its way in from the northwest that could set off a few more tornadoes. And so just be aware, yes, you're going to get rid of this threat shortly in Choctaw County, not going to be very long, but more potentially could be on the way. Let's zoom out and show you the entire region here, because we do have cells ongoing back in Mississippi as well. Let's actually take the whole state view here, and let's look and see what's going on across the state. We note that we've got severe thunderstorm warnings in progress near the Birmingham metro. We'll zoom up there quickly, as I know we have a lot of interest in Birmingham and Tuscaloosa. These are gnarly thunderstorms that are about to come into Tuscaloosa and Northport from the north. This is a severe thunderstorm warning polygon. Winds in excess of 60 miles per hour likely in Tuscaloosa, Northport. All of Jefferson County is involved in a severe thunderstorm warning, and that means that we could see trees down across the Birmingham metro, areas near Aniana. You've also got areas just to the south of Jasper, Oakman, areas near Samantha, Lake Tuscaloosa, Coker. You've also got areas near Wyndham Springs, the Mercedes factory, Vance, all those areas involved in a severe thunderstorm warning up here in central Alabama. So watching that line of storms very carefully, we'll zoom out and show you that we have an ongoing tornado watch back here in Mississippi. You see the darker shade of yellow. This is a PDS, particularly dangerous situation, tornado watch that continues for much of Mississippi. This lighter shade of yellow, that's our tornado watch. It's a standard tornado watch, which means conditions are favorable for more tornadoes over the next few hours. Let's go back over to the radar scope source, because this thing is really holding its own as it approaches the kind of the triple point between Choctaw, Clark, and Marengo counties. Here's your triple point. This is the Tombigbee River. Campbell is here. You got Morven right here. This is Woods Bluff. And so near all those areas, that's where we could see tornado damage as this tornado moves just like that. And so it should be pretty apparent to you. If you're in those areas that I called out, please get into a tornado safe place. Perhaps you're just now catching this on YouTube or Facebook Live, or maybe in our Red Zone Weather app. Please get to a tornado safe place. And look, like we've been talking about, the population over here, population density is very low, but it doesn't matter, all right? We care about everyone in our entire local area. Whether you live in a rural area or an urban area, it does not matter. And so watching this situation with this possible tornado coming towards the triple point of Choctaw, Clark, and Marengo counties. Landon, do you see anything on Facebook Live in the comments that would suggest that we have seen any damage so far? I've been kind of looking down every now and then, but have you seen anything that would suggest damage? Okay, and that's a good thing. And look, again, it's the middle of the night. It's 12:47 a.m. on this Wednesday morning. It's going to be tough, really tough, to get any type of reports from over here, because again, not only are you dealing with the middle of the night, but you also just don't have as many folks as you would in an urban area. And so the reports are probably going to be pretty sparse until daybreak. The first light of day may reveal tornado damage. Let's actually see if we can turn on the correlation coefficient. And we don't see anything in the way of a debris signature at this point, and that's a good thing. Now, again, keep in mind, let's do a measurement on that, because I think the radar beam is hitting this at, goodness, 6,000 or 7,000 feet, which is not what you want to see, but that's just what, yeah, look at that, 8,000 feet. If I can get our map right, there we go. 8,000 feet is what the radar is seeing here in terms of what it's hitting in this supercell storm, about 8,000 feet above ground level. And so this is a classic radar hole, one of the biggest in America in terms of the population density versus radar coverage. And so hopefully we'll get that problem fixed. I've heard rumors that we may be getting a radar in parts of West Alabama in the coming years. That would be kind of a best case scenario. Hopefully that'll be available for public use. Let's go back over to LD1 and we'll go to our local radar source here so that we can see exactly what's going on. That lightning output is holding steady. You're still at 475 in terms of the lightning strikes. Lightning is one of those indicators that kind of tells us the overall strength of the storm. Now, you can have a bad lightning storm and not have a tornado. In fact, that's what often happens. But in this case, this tells us that this storm is holding its strength. We're about to get a new radar scan as it comes by. You'll see it in just a second. There it goes. And this storm continues to move like a train on a track. We will see if the Weather Service in Birmingham decides to extend this tornado warning into Marengo County. I wouldn't be shocked if they did. Birmingham is generally a little bit more conservative with their warning issuing process than neighboring offices, so we'll see indeed if that happens. And by the way, getting several questions on if this will affect Thomasville in the northern part of Clark County. The storm is basically moving just to the north of due east, and so it looks like the core of this will probably pass Thomasville a bit to the north. I would suggest this is probably going to be more of an issue for Morven, Sweetwater, Dixon's Mills, which is right here at the intersection of Alabama Highway 10 and US Highway 43. Probably going to be an issue for Alabama Highway 25 north of Pine Hill as well in about 30 minutes. 12:49 a.m. tracking one supercell thunderstorm very early on this Wednesday morning. It has been a long day and it's going to be a long night. This is, the night is young, as they say. This is the first of what could be several tornado warnings in the hours ahead. We have a line of thunderstorms that's moving in from the northwest, and I'll show you that in just a second, but I did want to show that we have basically nothing happening other than this one storm that has prompted a tornado warning for parts of Choctaw and Clark counties. And for longtime viewers and readers, you know that Clark County belongs to us. We would love one day to add Choctaw County to our primary coverage area with the right sponsorships and all that, but right now we are not there. But anytime there's a tornado warning for Clark County, we come on and stay on until the warning has expired. And right now, the active tornado warning is in effect for Morven, Campbell, Cunningham, Woods Bluff. This almost goes over to Opine, not quite there. If you're at Opine, you're technically not involved in the warning. Opine is right there, just out of the warning polygon. Same thing at areas near Thomasville. You are not involved in this tornado warning. Grove Hill, Jackson, Watley, Gosport, Salitpa, you are out. The cell is way north of you. You do not need to be taking action right now if you're in those cities that I just called out. And I see we got a new tornado warning. This is going to be a new tornado warning that has just come on the board, and this is going to be for Marengo County. And so the southern part of Marengo County is now under an active tornado warning. What's happening here, Choctaw and Clark belong to NWS Mobile. So if you ever get a warning, tornado warning for Choctaw and Clark counties, it comes from the Weather Service office down in Mobile. Once you cross into Marengo, that becomes the territory of responsibility for the National Weather Service in Birmingham. And so what's happening here, Mobile is going to pass this off to Birmingham. And again, a new tornado warning for Marengo County that's going to include areas near Aimwell, Sweetwater, Dixon's Mills. This also is going to include Thomaston as well. There's Thomaston. This also does include Dayton. Linden is right on the border of the polygon. So if I'm in Linden, I'm certainly watching this with keen interest as this possible tornado moves just like this out of Choctaw. It's going to cross the Tombigbee River and enter into areas in Marengo County. Again, watching this cell very carefully, it looks like this is going to miss Clark to the north. I mean, it's so close that I would certainly be keeping that tornado precaution plan in place, but it looks like the core of this may just miss Clark to the north. But again, if I'm in Morven, you better believe I'm staying in that tornado safe place for the next 5 minutes until we give you an all clear. This is basically on top of the Tombigbee River right now. So this tornado is going to become a water spout and then become a tornado yet again in Marengo County. Landon, you've seen in your reports on Facebook Live over the last few minutes as we continue to track this storm? Nothing yet. Okay. And again, it's the middle of the night. I don't really expect much in terms of reporting at this stage of the game. Getting several questions about other areas across our region. And you're fine. You are fine right now. If I'm not talking about you, you're fine. In Escambia County, Alabama, Escambia County, Florida, you are A-OK. And again, just watching this situation very carefully in Choctaw County, we could have a tornado on the ground coming into areas near the Tombigbee River. And the action plan, just so you know, is once this crosses into Marengo, that becomes the territory of responsibility for NWS Birmingham, and we'll pass that off to them. So again, Sweetwater, you need to be taking action right now as we have a possible tornado coming in from the southwest. Same thing at Aimwell, same thing in areas near Dayton and also near Thomaston. You are under the gun from this possible tornado in Marengo County in about 10 minutes, all right? So go ahead and make it happen right now if you are in Marengo County as we continue to track this possible tornado back in Choctaw County. Just getting my chair ready here because, again, we're buckling in as it's going to be a long night ahead. We've got a line of thunderstorms currently setting up across Mississippi that's going to ultimately move our way. And again, the reason we are here is this. This is a supercell thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado on top of the Tombigbee River right now, coming into areas near Morven, perhaps just to the north of there along the Alabama Highway 69 corridor, Aimwell, Sweetwater, next in line to see this possible tornado. If you're in Thomasville, this is going to miss you to the north. There's just very little doubt about that at this point. Let's show you what's happening across the Deep South while we continue to track this storm. Because again, this is your main batch of storms that has developed up here in central Alabama. This is going to continue to develop in this region and ultimately cross our area to the southeast. And so what that means is we're probably going to have a round of thunderstorms in the morning, say around 4, 5, 6, 7 a.m. before all this mess clears out. And so we've got, again, a long way to go. not a night to stay up and worry, but it is a night that you need to have a way to get those warnings and take action if your specific area goes under a tornado warning. Let's check on these storms back in Mississippi because we do note there is a tornado warning for parts of southern Mississippi just south of McComb. You've also got heavier storms coming into Petal and Hattiesburg there in Mississippi. But again, the reason we are here is this, and I want to go very tightly into our storm that's currently at Morven and Woods Bluff. If you are at Cunningham, Alabama will give you an all clear. The cell has passed to your north at this point. Same thing if you missed it earlier, Gilbertown and Toxie. All clear at this point as the cell has now clearly passed to your northeast. The tornado danger at Gilbertown has come to an end. I see that we're not going to put our banner up for this, but we do have a new tornado warning for areas near Aniana in Blount County, north of Birmingham. So I'll show you that in a minute. But again, for folks in Blount County, Alabama, there's a new tornado warning up there. You're looking at West Alabama, just to get your geographical context straight. Here's Choctaw County, here's Washington, Clark, Marengo, Wilcox, Monroe. No issues in Wilcox and Monroe. The only active tornado warning over here in West Alabama is for part of Choctaw, far northwestern Clark, I mean the far northwestern corner, and for much of Marengo County, now involved in this. And let's see what time that expires. That one's going to be on the board until 1:45 a.m. Current time is 12:57. And what we'll do at the top of the hour is kind of do a reset across the region just so we can get our bearings straight for what's coming up. This cell is going to be very near Sweetwater. This thing is making a beeline for Sweetwater. If you know anyone in Sweetwater, Alabama, you need to call them. Same thing at Dixon's Mills. I realize it's 1 in the morning. I realize, people got kids. It's inconvenient to wake up the kids, but you got to wake up the kids in this situation. This could be life or death. This could be a very serious situation as we have a possible tornado coming into Sweetwater and areas near Dixon's Mills in Marengo County over the next few minutes. Let's make it happen in southern Marengo County. Implement that tornado safety plan as this clearly is going to be more of an issue for Marengo than it is for Clark. This has basically skipped out on Clark to the north, and based on the trajectory, we kind of knew that that was going to be a possibility. But let's give it, 5 more minutes, and I'll be able to give you an all clear in Clark County, up here in the northwestern corner near Cunningham. Let's give it 5 more minutes just to be safe. At this point, it is prudent to say if you're in Choctaw County, we will give you a tornado all clear from this cell. Again, all clear for Choctaw County. That means if you are in Gilbertown, Toxie, and you're just now catching this, or if you're over here near the Tombigbee River in Choctaw County, Alabama, all clear at this point. So you're done with the tornado threat imminently anyway in Choctaw County. Let's go back over to the radar scope source and I'll show you why. Because this cell has clearly emerged into southwestern Marengo County, very near Alabama Highway 69 there. And this is out of Choctaw. There is no tornado danger as of 12:59 a.m. in Choctaw County. If you will take me back over to LD1, I want to do kind of a reset because it is now 2 a.m. in the east, it is 11 p.m. out west, and it's 1 a.m. here in South Alabama and Northwest Florida, where we are kicking off yet another hour of tornado warning coverage. I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson, joined alongside Landon Barentine, our executive producer, on this Wednesday morning, and we have just now finished with a round of tornado warning coverage for northern Clark County. At 1 a.m., the cell has moved into Marengo County, and we gave you an all clear a second ago, but it's now official. The Weather Service has expired the tornado warning for Choctaw and Clark County. So again, all clear for all parts of Clark County, Alabama at this point. This cell is clearly an issue for Marengo County, and this is going to continue to move to the northeast at a rapid 50 miles per hour. This is coming straight for Sweetwater and Dixon's Mills. Those are the two communities in line to potentially see this possible tornado just to the north of the county line, north of Clark County in Marengo County, coming into areas near Alabama Highway 10. Absolutely no travel on Alabama Highway 10 extending from the Tombigbee River all the way back over here to Pine Hill, all right? No issues right now in Wilcox County, all right? No issues in Wilcox, but this cell could potentially be an issue for northern Wilcox County near Miller's Ferry in about 30 minutes. So keep your eyes on that if you're in Wilcox County. Our next cells that we're going to have to watch, and these are nowhere close to our area for now, but our next cells that we'll need to watch are back here near Hattiesburg and near Interstate 59, coming into areas near Hattiesburg right now. And so these are ones to watch, but because we don't have any active tornado warnings for any part of Southwest Alabama or Northwest Florida south of Thomasville in our local area, what we're going to do is go kick back to coverage in the Red Zone Weather app, and we'll come straight back on Facebook Live and YouTube Live if we have more tornado warnings in our primary coverage zone, just to, again, kind of set the stage for that. Washington, Clark, Monroe, Conecuh, Butler, Covington, Escambia, Baldwin, Mobile counties in southwest Alabama, those counties belong to us. Same thing in northwest Florida, Escambia, Santa Rosa, and Okaloosa counties. Those are the counties we cover anytime there's a tornado warning. If you're in Marengo County, you belong to the Birmingham television market, and great coverage is being done, I'm sure, by WVUA 23. I used to work at WVUA 23 in Tuscaloosa. Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott should be taking good care of you as Marengo belongs to them. Also, let's look briefly up here at our tornado warning for Blount. This is Blount County, Alabama. Possible tornado is going to be coming into Aniana over the next few minutes. If you know anybody at Aniana, Alabama, you call them, let them know there's a tornado rapidly moving in from the west. You've also got a severe thunderstorm warning that's in progress for the remainder of Blount County and all of Jefferson County. So again, severe thunderstorm warning, nasty thunderstorms coming into downtown Birmingham, Hoover, and Homewood over the next few minutes. This line of storms does extend down to Tuscaloosa. There is no warning for the campus of the University of Alabama at Tuscaloosa. UAB is under a severe thunderstorm warning, but no tornado warning for Tuscaloosa or Northport. But by goodness, these storms mean business. These are nasty thunderstorms coming in from the north. And again, the only tornado warnings that we have across the state of Alabama at this point are happening in Blount and Marengo counties. We do have an ongoing tornado watch, and Landon, if you will take me, please, sir, to the graphics system, I do want to show that we have an active tornado watch. Here's the projected radar, and you can see this is what I've been talking about. This line of thunderstorms is going to continue to come out of Mississippi and ultimately cross our area from northwest to southeast, and as it does so, some of these storms may be broadly rotating, and so we may have more tornado warnings. Look at your timestamp right there. That's 4 a.m. So let's see, it's 1:04. We got about 3 hours until then, until this main batch of storms comes in from the northwest. And as it does so, we will have heavy rain, damaging straight line winds potentially, capable of producing tree damage across the region and potentially a few tornadoes. The good news is by the time we get to lunchtime, looks like all this mess will be off to our southeast. There's the tornado watch. Again, that continues for Butler, Wilcox, Marengo, Clark, Choctaw, Washington, Monroe, and Conecuh counties. Also Pike involved in the tornado watch until 6 a.m. I have had several questions come in on Twitter over the last few minutes. Will we get a tornado watch for coastal counties and Escambia and Covington counties? The answer is possibly a bit later. Even if you don't, you're still going to have some rough weather with that line of storms moving through around 4, 5, and 6 a.m. Keep in mind, it's a level 2 out of 5 risk night into the morning, and that means that this is the standard slight risk. Not everyone's going to have a tornado tonight, all right? Most folks won't. but we could have a few brief spin-up tornadoes as this line of thunderstorms moves through. The bigger action today clearly happened over Mississippi, and let's see if we can go back over to LB1, please, because that's clearly where your action is happening right now in terms of the heavier thunderstorms. This is the band of rain that we showed you coming in on the projected radar. This is live radar, the regional radar view, and this is your big batch of storms that's going to materialize and kind of congeal back here near Jackson, Mississippi, and ultimately cross our area just like that. Supercell out ahead of it in Marengo County could be producing a possible tornado. And again, these cells that are happening back here in Mississippi, we're really going to have to keep an eye on those over the next hour as these continue basically moving due east. Now, there is a bit of northward component of motion with these, but these are going to cross I-59 and come into Wayne, Greene counties over the next hour. We will see if we get more tornado warnings. That certainly is a possibility. In fact, while we're looking at this, it's kind of the middle of the night, so we have a little bit more liberty to do what we want around here. Let's go over to the radar scope source, please, sir, because I do want to check on the rotation in those storms back in Mississippi. Same storms that we were just viewing. There is broad rotation happening here just to the west of Hattiesburg. No warning on that at this point, but we do note that these storms are broadly rotating, and let's zoom in real tight to the Hattiesburg area. Yeah, you can kind of see that there appears to be a circulation area coming together as this approaches Hattiesburg. We will see if the Weather Service up in Jackson decides to issue a tornado warning. While we've got you on this source, let's actually go back up to our storm in North Alabama in Blount County and have a quick look at that one. Because again, this is north of Birmingham, and this was a QLCS or quasi-linear convective system induced tornado warning, and that is basically right on top of Aniana at this point. And let's work the line kind of north to south. Yeah, this could be damaging straight line winds coming into Birmingham right now. Back over to LB1 as we kind of finish things up. We had a supercell thunderstorm come out of Mississippi. It prompted a tornado warning for Choctaw County first, and then we had a part of Clark County involved in the tornado warning. Now, that's strictly an issue for Marengo County. No more tornado warnings for South Alabama, south of Thomasville, or Northwest Florida. We're going to keep watching these storms back in Mississippi over the next hour. If we have more tornado warnings, we'll come back on Facebook Live and YouTube Live to bring you the very latest. On behalf of all of us at Red Zone Group LLC, I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson, joined alongside executive producer Landon Barentine. Certainly appreciate his service, and we appreciate all of you watching as we continue to track storms moving in from the northwest. Have a good morning.
Be sure to find us across social media, and don't forget to download the free Red Zone Weather app and set up your customized alerts. Please support our Red Zone weather sponsors who make our coverage possible every single day.